These activities were led by Patrick Huff, Kirk Marshall Clayton, and the Clayton Research Consultancy.
Ever since the Industrial Revolution, human activities, especially the industrialization process in developed countries, have consumed a lot of fossil energy. That has resulted in an increasing concentration of greenhouse gases in the air, which in turn has caused global warming. The natural eco-environment has been impacted, and the existence and development of human society are now facing a severe challenge. China is a developing country with a huge population. Its economy is comparatively underdeveloped. For the country, its major tasks at the moment are to develop the economy, eradicate poverty, and improve people's livelihood. Climate change is not simply an environmental problem. It's fundamentally a problem of development. The climate conditions in China are complicated, and the eco-environment is fragile. In the last 50 years, due to climate change, the country's farming sector has suffered great losses from water loss and soil erosion, as well as desertification. Glaciers and accumulation of snow have been melting at an accelerated pace, which threatens the oasis ecosystem. The rising sea level damages the coastal ecosystem. The functions of ports and drainage systems in coastal cities have been reduced. The volume of water resources in major rivers in North China has clearly declined. Shortage of water resources has become an increasingly severe problem. It's an urgent task for the country to improve its ability to adapt itself to the changes in climate, repair the ecosystem, reduce disasters, and guarantee the safety of food grains and people's life and property. China has enacted a series of related policies, laws, and rules. It has improved disaster monitoring and early warning systems, as well as emergency mechanisms. In early 2008, a snow disaster suddenly hit South China. The country immediately initiated an emergency plan to bring down the losses to the minimum. China withstood the test of an outbreak of disaster. China attaches great importance to research on basic sciences that can address climate change. In the medium and long-term science and technology development plans and actions, the country has listed the monitoring of and research on climate change as a key study. Currently, a rigorous meteorological monitoring network has been established nationwide, which strengthens the early disaster warning ability and provides scientific guarantee for actions taken to tackle climate change or the formulation of relevant policies. Water Resource Departments organized an interprofessional team composed of some 1,000 members to complete a comprehensive investigation of water loss and soil erosion, as well as ecological security. The area that this team investigated covers more than half of the country's territory. China has been continuously strengthening its efforts in dealing with ecological problems. The country has made it compulsory to return the grain plots to forestry, protect natural forests, return grazing land to grassland, forbid grazing on certain mountains, return fields to lakes, deal with desertification problems, and protect wetlands. Many other measures have also greatly improved the adaptability of the farming, forestry, and grazing industry to climate change. They include strengthening capital construction of the field, adjusting the cropping system, fostering good species that have strong resistance to adversity, and developing biotechnologies. A comparatively complete flood prevention and disaster reduction system has been fundamentally established in China. By the end of 2008, more than 86,000 reservoirs have been built. The length of established river embankments reached 286,900 kilometers, and that of sea embankments surpassed 130,000 kilometers. By the end of 2008, the country's annual capacity of water supply had surpassed 700 billion cubic meters. The South to North Water Diversion Project will constitute a new format of China's water resources known as 4 horizontal and 3 vertical. Allocation of water resources in the north and south, and the east and the west supports each other in water supply. Farmland irrigation and water conservancy infrastructure has been continuously improved. By the end of 2008, effective irrigation area had reached over 58 million hectares. The water use efficiency in agricultural irrigation district has been raised to 0.475. China's monitoring system of the changing sea level has been continuously improved. In coastal areas, their ability in coping with disasters has been gradually strengthened. China is in the process of fast economic development. An energy structure, with coal playing a key role, will not be changed in the short run. It's very difficult to control the emission of greenhouse gases. The global financial crisis has added to the difficulty of the task. China has been seeking new development opportunities in this challenging situation. The country has spontaneously linked the mission of energy saving and emission reduction with the Sustainable Development Strategy. It has hastened in eliminating market players with bad performances and is keen on improving energy efficiency. The country has been actively developing the new energy industry. Between 2006 and 2008, China's energy consumption per capita GDP declined by 10.1%. The energy saved is equivalent to 290 million tons of standard coal. In the first half of 2009, the country closed down small thermal power generation units with a total capacity of 19.89 million kilowatts. It has accomplished the mission outlined in the 11th five-year plan 1.5 years ahead of schedule. In 2009, China carried out a project known as All for New. Some 1 million dilapidated vehicles were eliminated. That helps to save 520,000 tons of gasoline every year, which can be translated into reducing the emission of carbon dioxide by 1.6 million tons. Another project, known as Energy Saving Products Bring Benefits to the Public, helps to save electricity by 75 billion kilowatt hours every year. Huaneng Group is China's biggest coal power producer. The generator set of the country's first-ever integrated gasification combined cycle with a capacity of 250,000 kilowatts is under construction. The new technology would help realize zero deposit and zero emission in the production process.
这样一个机组呢，它的发电效率是48%。那么这样一个效率比全国一般的煤电机组的效率要提高6%。
The HSE management system, developed by China National Offshore Oil Corporation, provides safety guarantee for high-risk offshore exploration. In the meantime, almost no emission is released in the process of the offshore exploration.
我们只要能做到零排放，全做到零排放。
In 2009, the Chinese government launched a 4 trillion yuan economic stimulus package. Much of the budget is for those energy conservation projects. Development of new energy has been a key highlight of China's economy during its gloomy period. The industry has been developing rapidly. By the end of 2008, China's installed wind power capacity surpassed 12 million kilowatts. The installed capacity of hydropower reached 172 million kilowatts. The hydropower can replace approximately 260 million tons of raw coal each year, and the emission of around 500 million tons of carbon dioxide can be reduced. Wuxi Suntech Power Corporation Limited is China's largest manufacturer of solar panels. Its products can be found everywhere across the country. Solar technologies have been developing comparatively quickly in China. China's accomplishments in the field of new energy utilization are widely recognized. In 2008, a truly green Olympics made the world look at China with new eyes. The 2010 World Expo, to be held in Shanghai, is just around the corner. Most venues for the expo have adopted world advanced energy-saving technologies. The idea of a scientific expo and an ecological expo would be fully revealed throughout the activities. In China's medium and long-term science and technology development plans, the National 863 program was outlined, which was designed to encourage circulation economy in rural areas. By the end of 2008, 30.5 million rural households have been using marsh gas. The number of established marsh gas projects in all scales reached 39,510. Every year, 12.5 billion cubic meters of clean marsh gas is produced to replace the use of fossil energy. Development and promotion of renewable energies enable more farmers to lead a civilized and healthy life. Mountains that once suffered from deforestation are basking in green color again. Ever since 1998, China has launched 6 major forestry projects. The country has been strengthening its protection over forests and has also stepped up efforts in afforestation. According to the 7th National Forest Resources Inventory, China's forest coverage rate has reached 20.36%. The area of artificial forests is 62 million hectares, which is the largest in the whole world. China has a population of 1.32 billion. Actions taken by each individual can combine into a huge force. Through promotions in all forms, the government has been trying to enhance people's awareness of climate change and get the public more involved in the actions combating climate change. In 2006, China initiated an activity to control air conditioner temperature. In 2007, green commuting was widely promoted. Today, this activity is still going on. Many private car owners have formed a habit of driving for one less day every week. In 2008, the Chinese government implemented a ban on free plastic bags. Consumption of plastics was reduced by more than 270,000 tons. Ever since 1981, China has continuously carried out nationwide compulsory tree planting activities. By the end of 2008, the attendance of people into these activities had surpassed 11 billion. In 2009, the central government increased its financial input directly for end consumers. Anyone purchasing energy-saving products gets corresponding subsidies. In 2008, 62 million energy-saving light bulbs were promoted by the government to households. In 2009, this number is designed to reach 120 million. Baoding is one of the cities that has been actively promoting clean energy. The usage of renewable clean energy has been on the rise in the city year on year. Low-carbon life is no longer an unreachable target. It has already penetrated into every detail of the city. Energy saving and emission reduction is no longer an empty slogan. It can be seen in the real actions taken by every citizen.
您知道洗车的这些水是怎么来的吗？
这里有宣传，这都是用的雨水，收集的雨水。
那您知道这些雨水除了用来洗车，还用来干嘛吗？
这里的草坪灌溉都是用的雨水，甚至还有一些那个住户，他们已经把这个雨水引到楼上去冲厕所。
昨晚8时至9时，安徽合肥市和旧金山、温哥华等世界名城一起关灯1小时。这次由
A harmonious atmosphere involving the participation of all the people to combat climate change is taking shape. Global climate change significantly impacts the existence and development of human beings. Solving this problem requires joint efforts and international collaboration. Taking an attitude of responsibility to the Chinese people and people across the world, the Chinese government has fully recognized the importance and urgency of the climate change issue. It has already made efforts and will continue to work hard to tackle the problems. While fulfilling the UN Framework Convention on Climate Change and the Kyoto Protocol, China took the lead in formulating the National Climate Change Program and adopted a series of active measures countering climate change. Chinese scientists have been actively got involved in the work of Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change. As many as 28 Chinese scientists participated in the composition of the fourth evaluation report released in 2007. Chinese scientists also acted as co-chairpersons of the first working group for the third, fourth, and fifth evaluation reports by IPCC. Chinese enterprises have been working with the international community to together promote the implementation of clean development mechanism projects in the country. By October 1st, 2009, the accumulated certified emission reduction by CDM projects in China was equivalent to 153.23 million tons of carbon dioxide. China is actively helping other developing countries with their capacity building to combat climate change. In 2007, China provided 17 countries with satellite reception equipment to monitor meteorological conditions. In Africa, for construction projects where China has provided aid, energy-saving designs and materials have been adopted. China has also held several international training courses on climate change. Neither air nor cooperation should be confined by national boundaries. Currently, the international community is working hard to put into practice the Bali Roadmap in a bid to promote the comprehensive, effective, and sustainable implementation of the Convention and the Kyoto Protocol. Based on the principle known as common but differentiated responsibilities identified in the Convention, China is willing to follow the authorization by the Bali Roadmap and continue to play an active and constructive role. Let's hope that the meeting in Copenhagen will be a new milestone in the international community's cooperation in combating climate change. You and I, we share one Earth, the only homeland for all of us. Let's join hands to protect our common homeland.
We trust the information provided so far was beneficial, and wish to thank you for your interests in this portion of the presentation. Individual agency or corporate representative support is available on request by directly contacting Mr. Huff through his LinkedIn account, under the Contact Information tab on the homepage. Questions or additional information pertaining to the presentation and supporting materials are available on request. References supporting Mr. Huff's work are summarized at the end of this presentation. Again, we wish to thank you for your interest in this presentation, and would appreciate your observations and comments. We wish to thank those government and non-government organizations, artists, and subject matter experts that participated in supporting the research, and for making this study and presentation possible. This presentation and content have been produced solely for educational purposes and use, and is believed to be allowed under Title 17 U.S.C., Section 107 of the United States Copyright Law. Specifically, the presentation's focus is on presenting the observations gained by applying global leadership theory, design, implementing transformational change. Since 2001, Mr. Huff has continued to expand his interests and research into Asian and Middle Eastern social, political, economic, legal, intercultural, technologies, and infrastructure. Mr. Huff invites you to view his team's upcoming publications, and again, trusts you found this presentation of interest and value. Thank you. The Clayton Research Consultancy, a public service corporation. Leaders in education, research, global innovation, and change.